All right, so today was the NFL trade deadline, and I must say, as a Washington fan, pretty bittersweet. I ain't gonna lie. We gave up our two pass rushers. It hurt a bit. It was a little painful, but I don't know if I can speak on it. So, Charles, let me ask you, man, because I know we know Montez Sweat went over to the Bears. So, why don't you speak on it? Because I can't put it in words.
Listen. I will tell you that the Commanders found a way to chase away some young pass rushers that made us sweat. That's all I know.
Broncos were chased by some young pass rushers that were guaranteed to make you sweat, bring a lot of pain, and we're all in, however you want to pronounce it.
Like, they didn't bring pain and they wasn't all in, but the Commanders ended up getting a second and a third round pick for first round pick investments in both of their defensive linemen that were actually pretty good players. Montez Sweat going to the Bears, I like it because the Bears have been looking for edge presence since they got rid of Khalil Mack, and they have two what will be premier first round picks from their own and the Panthers. They're both scheduled to be like first and second or first and third or something like that. So to get a player, you know, we like to do Madden ratings over at Soggy Nachos, a player who's between like an 82 and an 88 and Montez Sweat for a second round pick, I love that acquisition. And the upside that the 40, and hold on, and then the upside that the 49ers traded a third round pick for. Reunited and it feels so good. Chase Young, his Ohio State brethren with Nick Bosa and San Francisco for a third round pick. Now, Chase Young's floor is lower. We've seen Chase Young accumulate a sack and a half in 2 seasons of play or not play. But that second overall pick, that guy still lives inside of him. And he was playing, how many sacks did he have? I think he has about 4, 5, 6 sacks already. He's been playing good this year. So to put him in San Francisco, his upside, as far as Madden rating goes, he has a Madden rating upside in the 90s. I love that trade for the 49ers.
He's talking all this trash about my pass rushers. He's telling him about his. What you think about Leonard Williams going to the Seahawks, man? I didn't even know the Seahawks was doing that good.
Oh, yeah, they're 5-2. Well, it goes back to harken on a point that, you know, I made in the offseason that the Giants were terrible. Charlie didn't believe so. But then when you're selling at the trade deadline, it kind of harkens to say that, yes, you are terrible. And, you know, I think it's a good move for the Seahawks, and I think it's a good move for the Giants, too.
Good riddance.
Huh?
Good riddance. Go.
That's fine. No, Charlie. The thing about it, and I want to, like, celebrate and gloat and dance on you, but I really can't because as a Washington fan, of course, what Washington did felt like too little, too late, and not enough, like, you know, at the end of the day. So it's like them getting a second, you know what I'm saying, for Leonard Williams and having less wins and deciding to fold the season is just like, yeah, you know, they probably have a chance. I mean, I wouldn't, you know, they paid a quarterback, unfortunately, but still, like, Washington, it just feels like from what they had, they could have gotten more, and they should have been traded Chase Young. Probably should have never drafted him. I don't know. You know, whatever. You know,
that could have been Justin Herbert. But hey.
Yeah, it's just a little too late. It could have been Tua too. I mean, he's played
if you wanted a
customary 6 games in a row.
We have Sam. We're not gonna do that right now. Charlie, let me ask you a question.
So,
is it the point in the show for me to start crying yet?
Yes. All right. So I'm assuming he's referring to what the Vikings did. The Vikings pour out your tears for John. For Kirk Cousins. The Vikings lost Kirk Cousins for the year. I feel bad for him. I'm laughing at John just because that's his ride or die.
That's my man.
His ride or die.
Kirk was killing
he's been a Kirk supporter for almost a decade at this point.
He
got him in fantasy. He got him in fantasy everywhere. He loving Kirk Cousins. And like Kirk was balling out. Well.
No,
they had to go replace him with Joshua Dobbs, and they traded for a center. The Vikings are not rolling over and saying we can't do anything. They're going to try, but I mean,
they're not going to do much.
Go with Joshua Dobbs.
But that's the funniest part about the Vikings situation is that this is probably Kirk Cousins. If you ask me, his best talent or ability was his availability. And this was the first year he actually seemed to be playing better than, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and then he gets hurt, you know, so.
You can't have
So I don't want to dwell on no one team for too long, but why did the Eagles go get Kevin Byard, Charlie? I know they got secondary banged up, but why? Like, why do the rich got to get rich?
We don't have to talk about the Eagles. We talked about Rich getting richer with the 49ers. Let's stick with the 49ers.
No, the thing about the Eagles is they're well run and they understand the economic and, you know what I'm saying, financial portion of the league and how you can load up on players at low cost. And like, you know what I'm saying? It's not even like these guys are going to cost them because especially if they don't work out, they don't sign them the next year. They get to play around with pieces. You know what I'm saying? They're just run properly and they have a window and they understand what that means. You know what I'm saying? They understand how to run a football team. So
the only reason that the Commanders traded both their pass rushers is because their owner dressed up as Howie Roseman this offseason for Halloween and wanted to go, who let's make a deal.
I want to ask you about one more before we leave because I don't want to stay too long. But Charlie, actually, I like this one. Frank, Charlie asked me something on the phone earlier. He said, does Donovan Peoples-Jones to the Lions mean anything? What is your answer to that?
Yes, because Jamison Williams isn't anything and they need another receiver. So that means a little bit of something.
Wasn't that your guy? We don't got time for that.
We ain't got time for that. Soggy Nachos Podcast. Thanks for listening. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Peace.